Mesilas Yesharim, very, very famous Mesilas Yesharim in Perek Beis, he says, "V'ulam hidei zayis be'emes achas mitachbulos Yetzer Hara varmasai." One of the tricks of the Yetzer Hara and his cunning, lahachbid avaydasei b'tmidus alibas b'nei ha'adam, to make heavy the work on the hearts of people, ad shelo yishayir lem revach l'sbainin, until they have no room to think, u'listakel, and to watch, be'ezeh derech heim holchem, to really chart out and plan out their way. Ki yadeyahu, the Yetzer Hara knows, shelulei hayasamim libam kimat kat al darkeim. If people would only think for 1 second about their ways, vaday shemiyadei maschili nachem emaseim, they would regret their bad deeds. If people had time, they would chart out a good course. They would regret their maseim arayim, and the charata would grow until they would leave chet, if people only had time. And he says, "Varizu me'ein atzas parei arasha." This is the Eitzah, similar, the Yetzer Hara's Eitzah is similar to the Eitzah of Parei Arasha. Sha'amar, tichbar avodah al anashim. Parei said, let's make heavy the avodah on the men in Mitzrayim, on the Yidden in Mitzrayim. Shayim iskaven shaloi levad shaloi laniach lem revach klal. Lebilti leiv ayasim Eitzah negdai. Not only shouldn't they have any time to think how to fight against him, Parei was making an effort, lafriya liba mikolis bainus. They shouldn't have time for any thinking. Parei wanted the Yidden of Mitzrayim to be amazingly busy and not to be thinking at all. B'kayach hasmada so'avayda bilti mufsekes, through causing tremendous work, they shouldn't have any time to think. That was Parei's plan. Let's get Klal Yisrael so mitchered, so troubled, so bothered, that they shouldn't have any time to think. Kaini atzas Yetzer Hara mamish al bnei adam. The Eitzah that Parei did is the exact Eitzah of the Yetzer Hara on people. Ki ishmul chamahu. The Yetzer Hara is a man of war. Umilumud ba'armimus. He's very trained in cunningness. The efshar l'mal mimeno b'chachma rabba v'ashkafa gedolu. A person can only beat him with great intelligence. So the Mesilas Yesharim says that the Eitzah of Parei, which was tichbet aleim eso avoda, to make the tasks very, very heavy on people. They should be very mitchered and bothered by their conditions, overwhelmed with work, would stop them from thinking, from processing, from thinking of plans, from having that yishuv adas to think, how are we going to get out of here? And he says that's mamish the Eitzah of the Yetzer Hara. I think this gives us a window into what Mitzrayim is. More than a window, he describes this as Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim was a place that the Yidden, what Parei did to the Yidden, is overwhelm us with work, that a person had no time lehisbainin, to think and to process ways to get out of Egypt. That's what Parei did to us. It's mamish the Eitzah of the Yetzer Hara on people. That he does the same thing as Parei, that a person shouldn't have time with Yishuv Adas to think what's happening, to process what's going on. That's the Yetzer Hara does to a person. He says, Lahach ben avaydasei b'tmid v'salivus ben adam, till there's no revach l'sbainim l'stakel be'ezeh derech heim holchem. This is the trick of the Yetzer Hara, and it's the trick of Parei. It says that Parei lost his bechira. Parei lost his bechira. Hashem hardened Parei's heart. If you ever want to learn about a country, you study the king of the country. It's funny, in American politics, it's very in vogue. A president, part of the appeal he has to make to the people is, I'm an everyday Joe. And they make it, if they're very rich, they always describe, they love whipping out, if they have a grandfather who's an immigrant, they talk a lot about him, because they want to say America's made up of immigrants. Most of the country, people came over. It's not such an old country. So people came over within the last 100 years, 150 years. So a president will always like Lincoln, my granddad who came over. Whatever way that they could show they're a commoner, they're the everyday man. A president is the spitz American. If you want to know an American, look at the American who every American says represents Americans. And they always try to show, I'm the most American. The king of a country, it says that a melech is libay is levav shalom. His heart is the heart of the people. If you ever want to learn about it, people study the king. He is mamish, the people. He's the guy who's the spitz of the people. So when it says Paro's heart was hardened and he had no choices, you're understanding Mitzrayim. The king of Egypt was a man without choices. That's a spitz Mitzrayim. That stimuli, what went on outside and how you behave was immediate. There are no choices. That's Mitzrayim. People are just the product of their environment. My sister says something and I get angry. My mother does this, triggered. People love the word triggers. I got triggered. Mitzrayim was one big trigger. Paro is Spitz Mitzrayim, has no choice, is a mitzias of many people who function without bechira. He has no choice. He's triggered. This is how he feels, and from what he feels, what he experiences, to what he behaves, this causes this zehu. And that is Spitz Mitzrayim. We sometimes hear the story of Mitzrayim, like this is unfair. It's a big part, we're going to talk about the story of Yitzias Mitzrayim. The king of Egypt had no choice, and that's how they lived. The Rambam says that Goyim don't believe in Bechira. They live without choice. And Mitzrayim is the spitz place that the Melech Mitzrayim's heart was hardened, is that he lived with this matzav of no choice. This is how I feel. This is my experiences. That's the spitz of Mitzrayim. The king of Mitzrayim's plan on the Jewish people is to eliminate choice. To make them work so hard. They should be so busy, so mitchered. There's a funny scene. It's a famous scene. I promise you, the scene. There's a famous scene that it's like it's like a Kichel's joke. Kichel is the Jewish comedy. There's a scene. I have seen this scene a lot in my life. I'll tell you a story that I saw. The scene is Erev Shabbos. There's a long line at the bakery, and everybody's waiting to buy some cake for Shabbos Kodesh. And a lady runs in who's clearly frazzled, and she cuts the whole line, and she red-faced, oh, you're cutting us. She's like, I can't, please let me, it's Erev Shabbos. Please let me, I'm pressured for Shabbos Kodesh. Obviously not chapping, they're also, it's Erev Shabbos. She's so stuck in her own Erev Shabbos mode, it's Erev Shabbos. I have seen this in my life with being busy. I once brought a bacher, wasn't easy for me. We needed a favor from a wealthy person in New York, and I brought a bacher in to help him get a job for Bein Hazmanim. And this wealthy guy came in the room, and he was so busy, how busy he was. I was also busy, and I Pasha didn't have time to hear how busy he was. We're all busy. People, humans, every person who's very, very selfish and self-centered, sees they're busy. People are busy. Everybody's busy. Most people I know, most of my friends are very, very busy. There is a guy who's an ish batal, a rare guy who's twiddling his thumbs. I promise most people you will meet in your life are very, very busy. It's a world of busy people. There's an irony that people are so busy with their own busyness, they ignore the other guy's busy too. This rich man was fetching how busy he was, and it was inappropriate. I can't explain. He was ignoring. I'm also busy. I didn't even have time to hear how busy he was. We're both busy. Everybody's busy. You're not alone in being busy. I used to like to ask the taxi drivers in Eretz Yisrael their schedule. Many of them have 2 jobs. Many taxi drivers have 2 jobs. I liked asking. It just moved me how busy people were. There's a world of people being busy. Ashrei Misha Amola B'Torah. We choose to be busy on the things we want to be busy. It's a world, a busy place. It's a lot to do. People balance, earn a parnasa. They're taking care of their family, their own spiritual needs, their own physical needs. It's a busy world. All of us could think about our parents. They're very busy. They have a lot on their plate, a lot. There's not so much downtime, not so much. People are overwhelmingly busy. All of us are busy. And Parai's thing that he wanted to do is to make us so busy that there's no Yishuv Adas to be present in every activity and all that we do. He came from a world where people have no choice in Mitzrayim. That's the world of Mitzrayim. The world of Mitzrayim, the king of Egypt, which means Mitzrayim squared, as a hardened heart, that he just, what he feels is how he acts, and there's no revach l'spainin. There's not a second if I can be triggered and act differently. A guy described to me having a father with a personality disorder and his own learning to be kind to his father, not just saying, the world of therapy says, this relation's toxic, I'm not talking to him anymore. There's no belief that I'm capable. Yeah, a relationship could be toxic, and I could learn how my response is, and I could actually act with kibbud avim. I could actually have measured, thought out, very present responses. I think a lot of people we're about to go back home, and a lot of what we learn in yeshiva, but I want to discuss, not what we learn in yeshiva, this is Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is what it means to get out of Mitzrayim. It's ironic at the Seder, there's a tremendous amount of amazing. If you would count around how many fights are at the Seder, because they didn't get out of Mitzrayim. And the whole job is to get out of Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is a place where people don't have choice. And trigger to response is that's para. And by the way, that was what para, the Messiah Shalom described, wanted from the Yidden. That there's no revach l'spainin. There's no measured response. There's no Yishuv Adas to say what I want to be, what I want to exude, what I want to give off. I want to say to the Chevra, I want to say something interesting. I was at a gathering of people who had gone through a kid off the derech. This gathering with people who all had a kid off the derech. And a speaker spoke, and he knocked the school system. He ripped, and he was very much they type of guy. They always. There's no such. The school system's me and you. It's only me. There's no they. I don't like this they. It's me and you, Akiv. There's no they. People make a they. So this guy was ripping the school system. I told this guy, I begged him to understand. Your kid, you feel, was hurt by negativity. And there was a certain bittul and negative energies. And now what's your response going to be? If you're going to be a negative and create a they, the school system, so now you put more negativity in the world. Now we have bigger problems. You took one problem. If your response is to rip and knock that high school Rebbe and that thing, so now you have more bittul and more negativity in the world. Now not their negativity got squared. So you think that states there are 900 people on this Shabbaton, and 900 people are going through a big tzara. So let's put more negativity in the world. Let's rip schools. Now you just squared the problem. Now it gave birth that negativity. If you actually bring fire of positivity, that's the response. Positive energy. Bring a fire. By the way, the Rebbeim, you know what they need? A big hug and a kiss and chizuk. They're tremendous people. Be a fire of positivity. You'll change the game. And I say to each guy, instead of triggers, the world of psychology, triggers, I'm triggered. That's a world of paroi. That's a world of Mitzrayim. A world of Cheres is a person who has the revach, who has the space to think, to prepare, to say what I want to be, what I want to give off, that I'm charting my path. I'm not just a world of just triggers, I'm triggered. No, and the Bible has something called triggers, it's real. But I could actually learn and prepare and have the space and have the relaxed, the Yishuv Adas, to measure my responses. I have seen people do averis be a bad husband, a bad father for 40 years. He's busy, he's overwhelmed as every human being. He doesn't have time with Yeshiva Das to measure, to chart out the response, to think through what I want it to look like, what I want to be, how I want it to go down. And then to get to, and in that way, in that plan, it's very chashuv. I always tell guys on the bus home, before an off Shabbos, let alone before Bein Hazmanim, in your car ride home, visualize the type of energy you want to exude in home. And understand there'll be triggers. But I've decided, and I had a revach list, Bein, of what I want to give off. I'm not in Mitzrayim. I'm capable of getting a certain trigger and pausing and stopping, saying there's something I want to give, there's something I want to add, there's something I want to contribute here. I happen to appreciate a lot in the yeshiva. It's very interesting. I had a bacher yesterday, one of the alumni spoke to me about this, that he's fascinated that an environment that has so many different types, that, and we spoke about this from Rabbi Kalish, he said an environment that has so many different types, how he's very comfortable here, and he puts in what he wants to put in. We're not a world of Mitzrayim. We're not a world, well, that line of Rav Geisler, when you're younger, friendships form you. When you're older, you form friendships. There's an age of Yetzias Mitzrayim. What are you trying to bring? Who do you want to be? What do you want to exude? Go home. Don't try to survive. Don't try to manage. Go home and be a fire of positivity, of love. Be that. And no, there'll be things, and you'll pause, and then you'll be what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to give off. I'm thinking of Penny hitting Cleveland. Be a fire of love everywhere, in shul, in the supermarket. Walk into the supermarket and be something in the supermarket. The world of understand this is Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is what it is. At the Seder, there might be some negativity, some people in a fight, some people stressed. That happens. That's called Mitzrayim. Yetzias Mitzrayim is I pause, and then with energy, spread good feelings, compliment. Wow, what a nice vert to your sister. Wow, what a nice dress to your sister. Wow, to your mother, food's wonderful. To your father, give him cover. What a nice, thoughtful vert, Dad. Listen, but here is vert. Hear it. Be what you want to. That is Yetzias Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim's a place of limited reaction, of just people live without a sense, a thoughtful sense of how I want to respond. This is what Parai wanted to create. Now, Parai, it's fascinating to me, he wanted the Yid to live this way. The Mitzrayim lived this way without hard work. They lived this way, they were Malay Zima, they had their own ways that they created this. The Yid, if you don't artificially overwhelm him, she's called Shibud Malchias, what the Yid is going to do is he's going to think and he's going to serve Hashem. So you need to think of tricks to get the Yid. Tichbar Alemus Avodah. The Yetzer Hara has the Armimus and Pari has the Armimus. The trick against the Yid is to get him all the triggers. And he just says, I'm hopeless, I have triggers. But it's not that way. We're people who can measure our response. We could be...
We ran out of the doors and we waited till the next day and then we left.
That's fascinating. Brownstein always, the pithy statement, like in a minute, like says, he would speak at the Kiddush and say in a minute what I would say in like, takes me like 2.5 hours. Kedarka Bakodesh. The amount that Rabbi Brownstein does here, he's the rock of the yeshiva. I want to say, I'm very triggered. I want to say that I like come. It's very hard for me to come the night the guys get back. It's huge, and I say to the 12th graders, Rebbeim, the night guys come back, go room to room and give love, room to room. A lot of guys go home, and it could be a little stressful at home. If it's good at home, they still need a warm welcome back. But certainly, if the off Shabbos was difficult, go room to room. I would love to be here weekly. The off Shabbos is for the Chevra. By my mishpacha is more of an in Shabbos. We, Baruch Hashem, have, my wife calls the offs ins. We have a Geshmaka crowd as we love to have. But Sunday night, the Chevra goes back, and I give time to my mishpacha, so I can't come here usually. It is huge. And weekly, Rabbi Brownstein's here when the bus comes. It's a big deal. A guy walks in, I beg 12th graders, dorm kids, go around room to room, giving chizuk. Give chizuk, give encouragement. Go home, chevra, and give off something. And you'll have triggers, and think them through before, but I'm not in Mitzrayim. You'll have a trigger. Your mother said that again. She says that, so she says it. Think it through, but you're not in Mitzrayim. We're capable of having a trigger and responding differently. We're capable. If it's just trigger, negative. There's like that guy who's getting up, giving a speech, ripping the system. There's no such thing called the system. It's just me and Viggy. There's no them. I love the making up of the them. It's you and I. We always make a pretend them. We always make a pretend them. It's a good way. That's a good way to just create more negativity. There's no they. The whole world is me and Penny. That's it. It's me and you, Penny. 2 pennies. I'm Penchas too. It's 2 pennies. The ganze Welt. There's no them. Don't make a them. If there was negativity that hit you, so smack back with positivity, with love, with goodness, with kindness. Bring it to the world. Avraham Avinu didn't make a them. He just made an oilam of chesed. Don't be in Mitzrayim. Get out of Egypt, Chavra. Egypt is a world of just triggers. That's all there is. There's no choice. There's no decision of what I want to be. There's no planning out who you're trying to be. I watched this year what Zach brought to the yeshiva, a beautiful person, the sincerity, the sweetness. Bring that to every environment. Bring that to the environment. But there I can't. There I'm triggered. We're not in Mitzrayim. There's Yitzias Mitzrayim. Now it's true. You have to learn to make a pause between what happened. Things will smack you. It's true. That's what happens in this world. It's an oilam anasayin. Things smack, and I process. I feel, and I choose. And we've discussed. We can't say it enough. We talked a 3-step response. We say it a million times in yeshiva. We're learning a world of choice, a bechira, a world of Yitzias Mitzrayim, that I could bring something different. It's not to ignore what you're feeling. We've discussed a million times. Acknowledge what you're feeling. First, identify, acknowledge what you're feeling, validate what you're feeling, talk back to the feeling, and learn to do it, and to be a mensch who's a powerful person, who's not in Mitzrayim. The world of Mitzrayim is a world nobody's functioning by choice. There's Siddarim. I have seen Siddarim that the ganze Seder's Kulei Mitzrayim. The whole, it's maybe a good part of the Seder, but at some point you have to have Yitzias Mitzrayim. They reenact, like people that think you have to take the pekel around. I've seen Siddarim that are I've been told about Siddarim that are one chefsa of Mitzrayim. That's Mitzrayim. Oh. So if you're watching people stressed and this one's, you're watching Mitzrayim. So when you watch Mitzrayim, say it's possible Yitzias Mitzrayim, and then get out. Then use everything you know how to do, everything you want to give off. You don't get out by being triggered and exploding. You get out by a profound thinking what I'm feeling, getting what I'm feeling, processing what I'm validating what I'm feeling, and measuring and talking back, and a response that's we're human beings. We're Yitzias Mitzrayim. We're capable with Yeshiva Das. There's a tremendous Yetzirah of being busy, of being overwhelmed, of being, what are we so busy? The father who gets all mad at his kids about the mitzvahs themselves for the night is the biggest chefsa of Mitzrayim. But I am Hashem who took you out of Mitzrayim. Anochi Hashem lekecha malch, asher tzisichem eretz Mitzrayim, who took you out of Mitzrayim, who gave you that capacity to be free, to live with Hashem, to live godly, to have measured responses, to be something that you want to be. This is mamish the atzas of the Yetzirah, and we have the possibility of being different, of having measured, profound, healthy, powerful responses. I want to say whenever there's all different emotions. When the yeshiva the Zman's about to end, the amount of emotions that we feel, especially here with the alumni, was just here, there are tons of emotions like I feel. I definitely see the beauty of process. I looked around the last few days, and guys have shared. Many guys are nice enough to share the challenges. You saw so much beauty, so much success. I saw the beauty of the whole process. It's not just I see how good it is to get out of Mitzrayim. I see how good it was to be in Mitzrayim, by the way. Now, I don't say that lightly. It's so much pain and I don't say it lightly. I'm so happy you went through this. You can't say it to yourself. We know what our own challenges. Our challenges are terrible and overwhelming and just feel so bad. But they're also so good. The process of responding, of going somewhere, of getting out and using... Mitzrayim caused Yetzias Mitzrayim. Without Mitzrayim, there's no Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim and the response to Mitzrayim, we learned to cry in Mitzrayim. We learned about ourselves in Mitzrayim, and we were able to get out of Mitzrayim. So the last few days, I got to experience that. And they're all different emotions you have at the close of this man. From being tired to wanting a break, to very, very thankful for this man that was Zeicha to have together. They're all different types of feelings. But one of the feelings that I have been Hazmanim is when I think of guys going back to different places. And I think that we're unleashing tigers. Let it be in your shul. Unleash warmth and love and stop with the they. Over there, they, and stop judging and deciding different places. Unleash what you know you want to put. There's a line Rav Fisher always says, be the change you want to see. Don't look it in your shul, they. There's no they. The shul is you, and it's Penny and Penny. 2 pennies. It's me and Penny. And your shul is just me and Penny. There's no they in your shul. Go in there and unleash love. Go to your shul and give a warmer good Shabbos than you ever gave before. Go in your shul and talk to people and look somebody eye to eye. Say a nice, tell him how nice his suit and his belt looks. His yunt of clothing looks sharp. Tell him he really looks sharp. You know his son. Tell him how precious his son is. I wanted to tell you. I'm very impressed. Your son is such a wonderful person. Tell him a compliment about his son. Go listen to the Rav's speech and compliment the Rav. That meant a lot. That point you said there was impactful. I say to the Chevra, let's have measured responses. We're not in Mitzrayim. I'm triggered in shul. There's no they. It's me and Penny. Your shul is a lot of me and Pennies. It's Johnny in your shul. There's no they in your shul. And I say to everybody that in leaving yeshiva, there are things we pick up here. There's sincerity. There's authenticity we pick up here. Bring it home. Bring it to your shul. Bring it to your family as best as you can. Bring home good feelings. Bring home sincerity, warmth, love, appreciation, respect. Bring it home. Whatever you took from Rai Wisnicki, bring that home. Whatever a person took from Rai Shapiro, bring that home. We're Zeicha. We sit for a year near Mendy Katz. Accepting, understanding. I asked the Bacher, one of the B'nai Torah last night, who understands you in the world? He said Mendy Katz, without a miss a beat. Bring that to your house. Understand your system. Bring it home. Now, no, you'll have triggers. No, before you'll have. But we're out of Mitzrayim, so learn how to respond to them. Don't be paroi. Paroi is triggered, and v'zehu, he shuts down. That's paroi. And Atzas paroi is to do that to us. He wants everybody in his country to be like him. We have Yetzias Mitzrayim, that we're capable of responding differently. We're capable of measured responses, of taking in something and giving out something different than we took in. So I wanted to really give a zeros on these final moments of this man. I wanted to be mizares, the whole chevra, to really measured responses. Measured responses. Soak in, feel, process what you're feeling, and a measured, beautiful response back. Visualize what you want to be, how you want it to look, and try to be that example. I very much feel that in life we said Kaddish before Orchatz, that first there's Kedusha and then there's cleaning. Often visualizing stark what you could be at home is the answer to triggers. The answer is that I'm not just somebody who's like just responding and Efshar l'taken. There's a world. We started the yeshiva with the force. Imatata mincha efshar l'kalkel. If you could believe you could be destroyed, believe you can fix. Go home with a sense of efshar l'taken. I could be something. I'd be a realistic thing, nothing unrealistic. If it's unrealistic, it's not a good idea. But realistically, efshar l'taken. I could be something at home that's beautiful. Realistically, and amidst all different nekudas and nisyonis, that's the world. But realistically, efshar l'taken, with an eye on the positive, what do I want to be? What do I want to give? People kvetch. A Bachar in yeshiva was describing to me, kvetching to his father about some world problem. His father said, do you want to be another person who just kvetches about the problems? Or do you want to be a machine of change, of taiv? Be a Kaddish before Orchatz. Be a machine of positivity. The response to a kid had a negative experience in school, and then you go bashing schools, you just like doubled, you squared the problem. So it used to be one negativity, and now from the negativity gave birth to a family of negativity. Now we're a lot worse of a world. I told this guy, from this gathering, Shabbos has to be an explosion of positivity, an explosion of love, an explosion, people who are explosively giving off beautiful, warm, wonderful statements and conversations. I say to guys, and I don't just mean saying mindless, nice things, saying what you feel in nice ways, speaking and talking and spending time, engaging people around you. In yeshiva is a place of honest talk. Bring that to your brother. Sit down and have an honest conversation and listen to him and hear him out and express yourself. Be that to your mother. Talk honest. Express and say and share. Bring home. How many people have uplifted their homes with honesty, with warmth, with ayin tov? This certainly, don't square negativity. That's not the response. The response to a world that Avram Avinu has wasn't a bittul. It was a response of chesed, of building up, of creating and building. We have an opportunity. We're gone from Mitzrayim. We have an opportunity not to be in Egypt. Not to be in Egypt means measured responses, not a world of triggers. Measured responses. Trigger means that there's nisyanis. Change the word trigger to nisyayin. Trigger is paroi. Paroi has triggers. Trigger is a very treifa goyish word. Extremely, it's a treifa word. Maybe we'll add it to the list of words in yeshiva that are curse words. Maybe I'm getting close to putting it on there. We may put it on the list. It's a terrible word. Paroi is a world of trigger. Huh? Maybe you could hear a hurtful thing, not to be a pretend person. That hurt. Identify what you're feeling. Validate and say, I want to be an explosion of something different. And give chiyus and love and bring it home in a powerful way. Kaddish, bring it home in a powerful way. I wanted to take this opportunity. We in the yeshiva, Akaras HaTov is the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end of the year. And I really wanted to take the opportunity to be Makeh Tov. We said to Rabbi Brown, so Rabbi Brownstein does here is beyond. It's hard. I don't like settling just to say there are no words. The focus on the yeshiva, the living it unken hesach hadas, without a break, that he lives the yeshiva. He lives the yeshiva. It's on his mind. It's taifas makom on his mind. It's illogical. Any person, you get tired and you have to like blink it away. I watch dorm counselors who bring it like crazy, but it's a natural need. I just need to think it away. And the focus, the not being mesiach das from that which is important, from that which he wants to give is naira. And really, on behalf of the whole chevra, as we walk out of the Beis Medrash, a tremendous Akaras HaTov to Rabbi Brownstein as a friend, somebody who I want to say in an honest way as a friend that I promise you I get koyach from him. I get strength. I draw strength because when you have a partner who's so focused, I draw strength from it. It gives chizuk. There's so many times how much it feels so good to have a partner who shares your passion, who feels the yeshiva, who stands up to my mishigasim and focuses me better on things I need to do, who presents a different voice when I'm thinking to present a different voice but it's so nice, like to argue. We fight very well, Baruch Hashem. We fight better and better over the years, and we fight. Rabbi Brownstein's geschmack, because everything he does is brief. So he could fight in like 2 minutes, an explosive fight, and it's brief, he's busy, he's doing things, but I really want to thank as a friend, somebody we're working together. What he does here is remarkable. Is the tznius, the tznius, how he does and what he does, consistency, and the not being Messiach Das appreciated. I wanted to be Makir Toiv to all the Rebbeim, to each and every Rebbe. They all deserve and own. We'll miss the buses if I speak about each one. We're sitting by Rai Kaf, each Rebbe, what they bring, Rai Glazer, each Rebbe, what they bring to Yeshiva. Because I don't believe a yeshiva is a building. I don't look at it that way. That's why I want Rebbeim here, the night guys come back, and I want Rebbeim here when a guy gets on the bus. The yeshiva is not buildings. Schools are building. A yeshiva's people is relationship, is chaverim, is asei l'charav, kinei l'chachaver. Yeshiva is not a building. You didn't come to Waterbury if you're in the building. You came to Waterbury if you have chaverim. If you have a Rebbe, you didn't come because you step in a building. Yeshiva is not a building. And because it's a Rebbe, the yeshiva, they don't teach in the yeshiva. They are the yeshiva. They're the yeshiva. You're the yeshiva. You're not teaching in the yeshiva. You're the yeshiva. Wherever you go, the yeshiva's walking there. It's not karasat toiv to the Rebbeim. They take this seriously. They take it seriously. They understand what this means, the responsibility, the not being Messiach Das, the loving, the appreciating, the understanding, the chevra, the respect, the tremendous respect they have for the guys is the ikar of it all. Tremendous respect. They're intimidated by the guys. It's not a Rebbe here. It's not like a fixed guy healing the broken guy. We're all broken. Every human being's broken. We're human beings. We're all human. I'm broken and you're broken. Two brokens. What do I mean we're broken? We're human. We're human. We're all very human. Very, very, very human. And two two beautiful humans together are working towards tikkun. And the Rebbeim's respect for the guys, that's the heart of the yeshiva, tremendous. They're intimidated from the guys. Yeah. A bacher who's sincere, who's honest and authentic is intimidating. And the authentic, the respect to the chevra that the Rebbeim have, that allows for the success that's here. Tremendous hakar satayv to Rebbeim. To thank the dorm counselors. The dorm counselors, again, the name is horrible, and it's a general name given to all the bachrim who sit here, who make the davenings more sincere, who make the learning more sincere, who reach out, who help, who assist, who uplift, who encourage. To thank all the dorm counselors. Tremendous appreciation. Morty, I'm sitting in the presence of Morty Samwitz. What the guy, people called me last night for a shidduch for Morty last night. I said, I was just tired. Normally I'll speak and I do my hair, I'm going. I said, could you do me a favor? He got his wife on the phone after this. He said, just go right to the l'chaim. Don't be stupid. So just make a l'chaim. You're setting up a date. Just make a l'chaim. I'll come. Your daughter, if she wants to say no at the l'chaim, just go. Don't play her. He said, let me get my wife. I never heard that one before. I said, I'm tired. I could tell you a lot about him. I said, just go right to the l'chaim. I promise. He said, go right to the l'chaim. I beg you. They said he wants to learn in Eretz Yisrael. I said, empty your bank account. He learns as many. I said, you're writing a check. Your daughter will have a great. Do you understand? You're signing your daughter up for a great life. You understand that? You're signing up great life. That's it. Mazel tov. I'll see you at the Vart, the L'chaim, the Chasna. Let's go. So I want what Morty has done in Yeshiva. How many guys have opened up and spoken, and because he's somebody who's so sincere, he's mechabed others, and others are mechabed him. Davy, you can go down the list. The Akaras HaToiv to all the dorm counselors, to each and every one. It's funny, I keep, in everything I'm saying, I'm including Mendy. When I said the Rebbeim, I was thinking about Mendy. When I say dorm counselors, thinking about Mendy. When I'm going to thank the Bachram, I'm thinking about Mendy. He's like everything in the yeshiva. But the tremendous gratitude to the dorm counselors is off the charts. The next thank you is to Rabbi Yassel. If I had to build the cook of the yeshiva, if I would build him, if Hashem, there's a book, If You Were God. If I got to build the cook of the yeshiva, it would be Yassel. And guess what? Hashem built him already. The wonderful warmth and love of the yeshiva, it exudes from the man. The man is like a throwback of a sincere person. He's humble. He's going to kill me for talking about him, but I'm not afraid of him. We're both fellow tough guys. And we dance together. We can fight together. And the sincerity of Yassel, he loves the yeshiva. He loves the guys. He has a pride in what he does. It's just beautiful. He's the exact cook. Rameshmai, right? I don't know how to say it better other than like if we build him, he'd be him, and lo and behold, it's him. Davey, did I explain it well? It's just true. You can't make it up. Just, Rabbi say, this is like the ice next to the coffee. I asked him, put the ice in the coffee. He said, goyness. But this is such as a labor of love. He loves the chevra. He wants to take care of the chevra. The ice next to the coffee sums it up. I asked him, dump the ice in. It's one less zach. You have to wash. Dump the ice in the coffee. It's one less pain. Make it easier. He said, no. The ice melts and then the coffee gets watery. Brilliant. A goyness. It's goyness. Later on, he wants the coffee. He's thinking about the bacher who's waking up 12 to get his coffee to put on his tefillin. If he puts the ice in, the 10 o'clock guy, the zaki who's up for shachar is going to have a geschmack of coffee. But Yenim, who wakes up, fill in the blank name, who wakes up a little bit later, who needs his coffee for his tefillin, so he's going to have watery coffee. Goyness. I never thought of that. Put the ice in the thing, but then the later guys have watery coffee. So he puts the ice next to the coffee. There's love there. The ice is next. This way the water goes into the ice. You scoop out your ice. You ever knew that's the reason, maybe? Shimon, you knew that's the reason he puts the ice next to the coffee? He's a man who thinks about his chevra. He wants it to be good for the guys. Amazing chap, no, Aviel? You ever chap that? Who here knew that's why the ice is next to the coffee, not in the coffee? Nandi knew that. How do you know that? How do you know that? Yossi told you? I never knew. Shimon, you ever chap why the ice is next to the coffee? I don't know, you go to Rabbi. He doesn't go. It's amazing. Who thinks like that? Only a man who actually wants to give good to the guys. Geschmack. Let me give geschmack to the guys. I want to thank Yassel. The next thank you is a thank you to the chevra. It's a tremendous appreciation to the chevra, to the guys, to the Bnei Torah and the yeshiva. The realness, the authenticity, the fact that guys are willing to be real people is life-changing. There's nothing, this world is meant for real, authentic. That's what it's meant for. The authentic person who, with sincerity, with honesty, embraces life, figures it out, presents himself. The guy's willingness to be honest is inspiring beyond. It's beyond the schus to be in a place of honesty, of realness, of sincerity is overwhelming. And I want to thank each and every bacher for that honesty, that you're willing to bring that emistic. That's amazing. That's really moving. I look around the room, the success, this was a winter for the ages. It was the best winter we ever had in yeshiva. We got an extra month. I could go name by name. We'll literally miss the buses. It's 1:32. The buses are pulling out at 2, I think. Guys got to pack. But the real gratitude. I look at a guy like Shimi with positivity, with beauty, with what he's done this year. Tremendous. Shimi Stelzer, we've spoken about. We can go across. Maish Glazer is like a hero of the yeshiva. Maish. I love it when he announces. If you ever hear announcers, it's very cute when an announcer roots for the home team, like he's too excited, and it's funny. The announcer can't contain. The Yankees have a lady, Susan Wolf. The Yankees lose. She's very emotional. She's crying and tries to put herself together. It's geschmack when you're a fan. To hear Moshe's nachas from Zaki. Zach took a crazy shot and it misses. Moshe gushes in the mic. Even when he misses, it looks crazy. Remember you said that, Moshe? That was delightful. That was the nachas, the friendship. Did anybody else hear that? That was maybe the best call of the year, Moshe. You'd get a golden mic from me for that. Maish, was that how it was said? Something like that? That was delightful. That was delightful. Just delightful. His friendship, the loyal friendship, the positivity, the true love of the yeshiva, of his friends, of his rebbeim, that Maish Glazer, everything I'm saying about the Bachram, the honesty, to watch his friendship with Reb Menachem Glazer, is to watch the brotherhood, those two brothers, beautiful, beautiful, one after another. I go, the Weiner brothers, what each one, they're different people, like Eitan, Avi, Moshe. Just for all of us, it was very exciting to listen to announcers at all the games. I usually like turning off the sound. I can't really listen so stark at the Yeshiva League games. I like being there. And when me and my daughter watch the games, I usually ask her to turn off the sound. But this year's team, I actually like them trying to figure out, are they related? What's happening? Is the whole team, is the name of the team the Weiner? Is like figuring out. One Chacham, somebody said they're not brothers, meaning Zach's, not but the other three. And the guy said he wants to tell all the fans of fasting, none of the Weiners are brothers. I don't know if one of our guys pulled the shtick, but he decided none of them are brothers. He wanted to announce to all the fans, which... He said none of you are brothers. One of the announcers announced, but each one, the sincerity, their love of Torah, their Avi's Aliyah this year, wonderful person, Eitan seriousness and growth this year, his honesty. Maishal is one of the big masmidim of the yeshiva. You come in here and he's sitting and learning Torah. Tremendous win this month. I want to thank Avi El-Hezgian, that one of the best guys in yeshiva, so positive. His smile makes your day. You walk in exuding positivity, exuding a love of Torah, a love of Yidden. Beautiful. I want to thank all the Bachram. Thank you, Avi Shlomo Greenwald's David Penny, the leaders of yeshiva, Daniel Munchik, amazing. Really, I want to thank all the B'nai Torah, Mark, Yudin, all the B'nai Torah. I want to mention, and nobody should ever forget this, that the parents sponsor the yeshiva. Don't ever forget that, ever. That your parents pay for yeshiva. People work hard. Your parents sponsor yeshiva. But much, much more than your parents sponsor the yeshiva, you come from your parents. That doesn't just mean physically. You are your parents. The Rav Tzadok HaKohen says the deepest thoughts of parents to their kids. Only shallow people see their kids struggle. My kid is struggling. No, there's a piece of you struggling. That's in you. There's a piece of you, and when you have kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know, your kid's struggling, you're struggling. There's a piece of you. You were able. There's something called a narcissist, and there's a covert narcissist. A covert narcissist, he just knows how to fool other people. Your kid is you. You just knew how to hide that piece. Hashem brings it out. It's you. Your kid's not struggling. You are. The Torah says it's a piece of you. So I want to say that in appreciating the guys in yeshiva, I appreciate your parents a lot. Because your beauty comes from your parents. I appreciate your parents because I see it in you. Go home, be Makat Tov. I want to be Makat Tov to the parents. It's not stam that they pay for the yeshiva. It's not stam that they trusted us and sent you here. They brought you. They are you. They've created you. And appreciating you, it's like silly not to see it and not to see the parents, where it comes from. So tremendous hakaras hatov to the parents of the yeshiva. Tremendous appreciation. There's so many heroic parents. So many heroic parents who bring it, who are there. We've been inspired. Rabbi Brownstein and I, one of the great merits of the yeshiva is we met a lot of amazing people. A lot of amazing parents. Tremendous hakaras hatov. I want to thank, in closing this, at the end of this man, I want to thank Mrs. Guri, who the help she brings to yeshiva. You talk about parents in yeshiva. The amount she gives to the yeshiva is staggering. I want to thank her. I want to thank Rav Aryeh Weiss, the amount he gives to the yeshiva, time, heart, money, every aspect, staggering. I want to thank him as well. And I want to close, of course, by thanking the Rebbeinu Shalom. What we have here is supernatural. Is the anhaga here is not normal. It's not hidden. We see miracles. I'm describing the cook. Everything's like designed. This is Meshur. I'm describing Mrs. Guri, Aryeh Weiss, Rebbeim, Mendy Cat. It's like miracles. If I would like design, if I say what the yeshiva needs, like the perfect piece, I would design Reb Mendy Cat. Like he brought it. He pulls it all together at every layer of the yeshiva with honesty, with humility, with beauty. And I just thank Hashem. It's remarkable. The different pieces. In the middle of this man, Shimmy Schiller came and was like some people have been moaning that Met fans have been moaning that a big pitcher is injured. Some people spin it that if they could actually do well at the beginning, he'll come in the middle. A mid-season acquisition could be a life changer. Shimmy Schiller, to have this stud, top of the rotation pitcher show up and pick up the whole place. But Hashem sends what we need when we need. The Anhaga Nisis that happens here, the Akaras HaTov I want to end with is to the Rebbeinu Shalom. We don't take for granted. We don't take for granted a world that's just something different here. A Bacher described to me in the last few days how he's been going through a difficulty, and he came here, it was like his difficulties melted. He just being around the Chevra, so tremendous Akaras HaTov to the Rebbeinu Shalom, the creator of all that we thank for. So I want to end with that. Thank you.